Now at 6, our severe weather threat will extend into the evening hours. We'll show you where the strongest storms are now and when they exit the state.
Plus, Governor Hutchinson briefing the media for the first time on the historic flooding along the Arkansas River.
It's a beautiful sight until it comes to get you.
His message to Arkansans as hundreds voluntarily evacuate.
And emergency workers are concerned as the river continues to rise. What they're doing as conditions worsen. The news starts now.
From the station that's on your side, awarded the Regional Edward R. Murrow Award for Newscast Excellence. This is Channel 7 News at 6.
Now at 6, historic flooding is underway in Arkansas. The water continues to rise on the Arkansas River with levels that haven't been seen since the May 1990 flood. Here's a side-by-side comparison.
On the left side of your screen are the high waters of the Arkansas River nearly 29 years ago, and on the right, the river today. And as we keep our eyes on the Arkansas, we're also watching the skies and the threat for severe weather tonight. Our chief meteorologist, Barry Brandt, standing by in the Weather Center now with meteorologist Todd Jacobian and what we can expect. Guys.
You know, we've been looking at storms all afternoon, kind of out by themselves on the leading edge of this, but no tornado warnings, at least down for the majority of our state. But there are signs of a lot of wind, Todd. We saw some go through Conway and now just to the southwest of Little Rock on our VRAD.
Mableville and Shannon Hills. Right now, there's a very strong gust of wind on our volumetric radar that we want to show you that there's a severe thunderstorm warning now in effect for Bryant, Alexander, southwest Little Rock, including the Otter Creek area, west Little Rock, and all of Little Rock up into north Little Rock. I see maybe some hail north of Bryant, but I think damaging winds because we have reports of 1,500 without electricity now in Saline County.
Yeah, absolutely. I think that is it. And we're going to watch that storm for any signs of rotation there. It's kind of a broad rotation now, but it's moving right up into southwest Little Rock and will be moving across our city. There are other storms that we're going to be watching for later on tonight, but we will see a diminishment of these storms coming up later on. And we'll have more on that. Plus, we'll have more on the Arkansas River, the current crests that are there, and how this recent rainfall might affect our river. That's all coming up.
This is a concern, a high risk for all of Arkansas along the Arkansas River.
This afternoon, for the first time since the Arkansas River began to overflow its banks, Governor Asa Hutchinson briefed members of the media on the state's response to the historic flooding.
Our Matt Mershon begins our live team coverage tonight with more on what the governor had to say. Matt.
Well, Chris and Beth, one thing the governor could not tell folks at this press conference today is when this flooding is expected to go away. The governor addressing the media at a press conference at ADEM alongside leaders with state police, the Arkansas National Guard, and several other agencies assisting in the state's flooding response. Governor Hutchinson announcing he has committed another $250,000 in state funds to assist in that response, bringing the total to $350,000 in state funding and assistance to local counties. The governor says he has spoken with President Trump asking him to help expedite federal assistance to the state. Governor Hutchinson saying this historic flooding is truly testing the state's levee infrastructure. He says there has been more than 400 homes that have evacuated voluntarily so far across the state. The governor warning Arkansans to heed the advice of local law enforcement, something that was echoed by the general of the Arkansas National Guard.
We've already lost one citizen because of not abiding by barrier rules, and we don't want to see any more of that. It's in the best interest of our individuals and their families. So.
And the governor urging Arkansans to keep a close eye on local media as this dangerous situation unfolds with the flooding for the latest updates if and when they become available. For now, we're live along a very rainy riverfront. We'll send it back to you, Chris.
Indeed it is. Matt Mershon for us tonight. Matt, thanks very much. Tomorrow, the governor will be joined by members of the Arkansas congressional delegation. They'll take to the air to assess the damage that's been caused so far.
We go now to Faulkner County, where crews have shut down a portion of Highway 60. Stephanie Bennett joins us from Toadsuck Park tonight with a look at those water levels. Stephanie?
Well, Beth, you can just see behind me how fast this water is flowing, and most of it has taken over Toadsuck Park. Now, that's why crews had to shut down that bridge, and because of that, MEMS is looking into alternate routes in case anyone in this area may need medical attention.
First thing we have to do is, as we stay aware of that, working with the county OEM offices, monitoring iDrive for road closures and that sort of thing, is to make sure that we have alternate routes to be able to come in on the backside, if you will. The consequence is that it'll take us longer to reach these folks.
MEMS responding to almost 300 calls a day, covering Pulaski, Faulkner, and Grant counties, as well as Cabot. The agency, which serves about 350,000 people, already mapping out alternate routes should they need to come to anyone's rescue. John Swanson with MEMS says they're anticipating even more road closures. And although many people have been evacuated from their homes near the river, Swanson says to keep this in mind. Even if your home isn't in danger of being flooded, access roads leading to you could be closed, essentially closing you off from help.
And if they become totally isolated, then we're talking about using boats, potentially more helicopter use to be weather permitting, so we can reach folks who are otherwise isolated on an island, if you will.
And MEMS says if you or someone you know is prone to needing medical attention, he suggests finding another place to stay for the time being. Beth?
Stephanie Bennett reporting live tonight in Faulkner County. Stephanie, thank you. Electricity and flooding obviously don't go well together, so the safety of Arkansans is now being reinforced by utility companies. Channel 7's Zach Briggs joins us now with what's being done. Zach?
Well, Beth, utility companies across the natural state are working to, quote, de-energize impacted communities. This as the Arkansas River continues to rise.
Electricity and water don't mix.
At least 3 electric co-ops across the natural state have taken to powering down flood-impacted communities. The historic levels prompting service personnel to look at flood-prone areas and consider de-energizing homes.
We think the lines are de-energized. They should be de-energized, but safety is always paramount.
Only way in and out. With the floods comes curiosity, as some people tend to boat around, while others do so as a necessity. Rob Rodell reinforcing to Arkansans to stay away from power lines, energized or not.
If for some reason there is an energized line and you're in an aluminum boat, you're conducting electricity right there if you touch it.
On the local level, North Little Rock Electric has shut down power to various areas, from Burns Park to an RV community to the Maritime Museum. An estimated 40 to 50 North Little Rock homes to be affected by flooding in the coming days. That's according to the North Little Rock Mayor's office. This comes as the river extends even further inland, hauling in trash and the threat of flood damage. Jill Potter says she doesn't believe the electrical substations will be impacted.
Obviously, we don't know what type of rain we may get this week. Either way, we feel like we'll be okay. Now, there could be short outages, but we do have a loop system that we can reroute power when needed.
And according to Entergy, 30 customers temporarily disconnected, so they're without power. And as the Arkansas River rises, so does potentially the number of electric customers across Arkansas. Chris?
All right, Zach Briggs for us live along the river. Zach, thank you very much. Entergy does anticipate issuing between 200 and 300 temporary outages before the water subsides. Tomorrow, KATV will team up with the American Red Cross for a disaster relief telethon. We'll open our phone lines at 6 a.m. They'll stay open until 7 o'clock tomorrow night, where you can call in your donations. The number, 501-324-7888. A high school football team showcasing the spirit of Arkansas as high water continues to threaten residents along the Arkansas River.
How they're stepping up to help the community. That's coming up in 10 minutes.
Channel 7 News at 6. Brought to you by Arkansas's best Chevy dealers. Skycams, sponsored by Middleton Heat and Air. From the weather team with the most experience, this is Chief Meteorologist Barry Brandt.
Boy, a line of heavy rainfall and then a broad area of rain going back to the northwest. Not good in the Arkansas River Valley there. But let's zoom in a little on these storms that are moving through central Arkansas. We have a number of people without power in Benton. 3,400 without power. First Electric Cooperative is there, according to their website. That wind producer is moving up into Little Rock. It doesn't look quite like it did, but there's plenty of wind and rain along with it, as well as lightning. We don't know if it was heavy winds or if it was lightning that produced that power outage, but it is moving up into the Little Rock area. Please be careful on the roadways. In fact, if we can take a picture from Arkansas Department of Transportation, iDrive Arkansas, look at this. Folks going into Saline County there, and look how slow the traffic is. It's pounding rainfall, and it wouldn't surprise me if there aren't high winds within that area as well. Elsewhere, there are high winds now moving over into White County, northwestern part of Lonoke County. This is a severe thunderstorm warning, just like we're under here, as wind has been a problem. Numerous streets, it looks like, have trees down and are impassable because of some wind that went through the Conway area a little bit later on. Tornado watch, only a few counties. It's really shrinking down, and then you can see the severe thunderstorm warnings within it. We have not had a big tornado threat as of yet, but damaging wind threat, certainly. Flash flood warning in effect now with that storm coming up out of Saline County all the way up into Little Rock. Flash flood watch back to the west with that lingering rainfall, and maybe another 0.7 of an inch of rainfall here. I think most of this has already fallen in western Arkansas, but there could be an additional 1.5 or even 2 inches of rain in a couple of spots. By the time we get to the weekend, even by the time we get to tomorrow night, it dries out. A small rain chance over the weekend, but it'll be warm and humid without much of a rain chance. Tomorrow, an early chance, and then we start to dry out. We'll get up into the mid-80s. It'll actually be a little bit cooler. Now, the latest from Little Rock, 208 or Toadsuck 282.7 going to 285.5. The crest times haven't changed a whole lot. We've come up about 1.7 feet here in Little Rock since 6 o'clock last night. Still looking for a Monday crest. Pine Bluff, you've risen to 46 feet now. It's risen pretty rapidly there, cresting the middle of next week. But the flooding is going to get worse and worse, and we'll keep a close eye on it. Rain cooled behind that rain area coming into central Arkansas. Northwest wind at 21 at the airport, so that's wind coming away from those thunderstorms, and a cloudy and rainy mess out on Chenal Mountain on our Middleton Skycam. Later on tonight, I think we're going to see a lot of this activity die out. Even around 8 o'clock, the models really say that this whole thing starts to lose a lot of its punch. We'll watch for a little bit of redevelopment up in North Arkansas later on. But rain and thunderstorms likely. We'll continue to watch them, some strong, mainly in the northwest half. But as they get into that southeastern half of the state, they just won't sustain themselves, I don't believe. 70 tonight and an 85 tomorrow, 20% chance of rain early, followed by partial sunshine. Yeah, a little sun breaking out and stays there for a while. Other on and off rain chances Monday through really Thursday and Friday of next week. I thought it might dry out in that long term, but it looks like now that front may stick around. Last thing we need is day after day of rainfall, but for right now, we're going to watch the storms in our state. Some of those still strong and still wind producers, so be careful out there, folks.
Okay,
Yeah,
we know you guys are here.
Yeah.
Thanks, Barry.
Well, as concerns for high water continues, the Little Rock football team certainly showing the spirit of Arkansas today. Players from Baptist Preparatory School started their summer workout by helping fill sandbags. The team visited one of several locations where North Little Rock has dropped sand around town to help out in the community. The team filled dozens of bags ahead of our historic flooding, all, of course, the result of heavy rainfall in Oklahoma that flows downstream into Arkansas. Up next here, a hands-on program that is helping students across our state.
How Baptist Health and the Little Rock School District are teaming up to inspire young Arkansans who are interested in the healthcare field. A unique partnership between Baptist Health and the Little Rock School District is hoping to inspire a whole new crop of future medical professionals. In tonight's Health Check report, we visit the class to see what it's all about.
The Little Rock School District Excel program is geared for juniors and seniors interested in the medical field. Unlike a traditional class, students come to Baptist Health to learn.
We provide the classroom space, we provide instructors, we let them do rotations through different areas. We let them experience real world, like what it's like to be in the healthcare system.
The program has been in existence for about 2 years, and students come from all of the district's 5 high schools.
We teach them medical terminology, and we also teach them clinical skills. And then during the second semester, we send them out on internships.
The students receive certifications and go on field trips to get hands-on experience. On the day we visited, they were learning all about phlebotomy.
They're talking about the different blood types and what is compatible with one another. They're learning how to draw blood, as you can see.
This unique class allows them to explore different careers with access to Baptist Health nurses and healthcare professionals.
Because you kind of see different professionals and how they're dressed or how they act, and it kind of shows us like how we're supposed to act in our workplace.
Students like Kayla Wills, a recent Parkview graduate, will have a leg up as she goes to college. Exciting not only to her, but also to hospital administrators who hope to someday hire these very students to work for Baptist Health.
And the sooner that we can get to the high school kids to get them interested in the healthcare field, the sooner maybe we could recruit them.
This program will have a whole new group of students this fall. In the meantime, Kayla says she plans to either become a physical therapist or a labor and delivery nurse someday.
Well, up next, we are talking baseball. Dave Van Horn on who'll be starting for the Omahags this Friday.
Plus, Sully and Kyle join us live from Baum-Walker Stadium next.
From the Arkansas Select Buick GMC Sports Desk, here's Steve Sullivan.
Welcome to a very wet Baum-Walker Stadium. The good news, the forecast for game day on Friday is spectacular. Sunny with a high in the low 80s. Now, the bad news is we had to call a little bit of an audible on what was going to be a preview special is now a live post-game special on Friday.
Yeah, we were hoping to be here today. We'd hear the sound of aluminum bats on this field behind us. Instead, it's the sound of rain hitting the tarp. Should be great. Our special now will be on Friday nights. We'll be able to recap that first game and look ahead to whoever they play on Saturday. Now, by the way, Sully, a little breaking news when you talked to Dave Van Horn today.
Yeah, we had wondered who was going to be the starting pitcher, and he broke the news to us earlier today. Have you made a decision on whether you're going to go with him in game one or save him for that game two?
Well, you're the first one that's asked me this week. We're going to save him for game two.
Okay. As far as you decide Wicklander probably in game one?
No.
We're going to Connor Nolan.
Connor Nolan.
Well, how exciting will it be when the Greenwood native takes the mound on Friday? This place is going to be electric.
He's a good enough story considering he had that setback where he had to pitch midweek this season. Then you add in the fact that he's from Greenwood. Then you add in the fact that he was your starter at quarterback in the fall. It doesn't get any more wild than that on Friday.
And he's unbeatable on that mound right there. Hey, we got a few special guests on our special on Friday.
Yeah, you'll hear from ESPN college baseball analyst Kyle Peterson. Here's what surprises him most about this Razorback team.
You know, the three guys that were coming back, Fletcher, Martin, Kerstad, you're looking at it saying, okay, they're going to hit. They've all hit. They haven't had, markedly better seasons than they had last year, but they've all hit. It's Ezel. It's Goodhart. It's Kenley. It's a switch-hitting catcher in Opitz that's thrown out 50% of the guys that have run and have handled that staff. It's Campbell turning into a real ace. You've got Cronin at the back end, but there's been a few guys bridge it. It's two freshmen on the weekend that have proven that they can go up with anybody. And I think those are the things going into the season that you just don't know.
First pitch Friday at 1 o'clock, special live 7 to 8 o'clock.
It'll be fun. We'll be back here up on Friday.
All right, I'll see you at 10 o'clock. That's it for now from rainy and very wet Baum-Walker Stadium. We'll see you at 10.
Channel 7 Sports Desk is sponsored by your Arkansas Select Buick GMC dealers.
All right, let's take a look at our storm analyst. It shows heavy rainfall moving up through the area. Actually, Bryant, damage now. We had heavy winds coming through, and there is a tree that has been pushed over. Also a report on I-30 of a tree down. A tornado watch has been placed into effect until 1 a.m. It's been expanded a little bit to the east, and there's more heavy rain on the way. That does it for Channel 7 News at 6. Thanks for being here. Hope to see you back here at 10.